Hi, I'm Andrew O'Donnell, and I will be speaking on the FCC, or what is better known as the Federal Communications Commission. Okay, I'm going to mainly focus on one law here. It is the Communication Act of 1934, and it states, make available so as far as possible to all the people of the United States without discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, national origin, or sex, rapid, efficient, nationwide, and worldwide wire and radio communication services with adequate facilities at reasonable charges. Now, this is basically based on one of the areas that the FCC covers, which is talking about radio communications here. And this Communications Act obviously was passed in 1934 by President Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, that is, and is codified as Chapter 5 of Title 47 of the United States Code. The act replaced the Federal Radio Commission with the Federal Communications Commission, which is known as FCC today. It also transferred regulation of interstate telephone services from the Interstate Commerce Commission to the FCC. Now, we will get into a little bit of the summary of the FCC. So, it was formed by that Communications Act of 1934. This is just one of the small laws that they regulate. It was created originally to replace radio regulation functions of the Federal Radio Commission, but it took over wire communications as well. So it covers all the 50 states and territories of the U.S. So going into greater detail, the FCC is an independent agency of the United States government created by statute to regulate the interstate communications by radio, television, wire, satellite, and cable altogether. So I think there's 5 there. And they work in basically 6 goals. So 6 goals that they work towards are in the areas of broadband, competition, spectrum, media, public safety, and homeland security. So it does a lot of different things, and it kind of spreads itself out to, it's gained over the years, so it spreads itself out to all the communication that you can basically think of. Now, so how can one business basically encounter the FCC? It's kind of weird how it works, but so basically, if you're a threat to public safety, your homeland security, obviously this is a pretty big deal. So the FCC is kind of going to take care of that if it's in their communications area. But I guess one familiar area that we all might be able to relate to is television. So in the past, the FCC has enforced the indecency and profanity prohibitions only against conventional broadcast services. So if there are some that use language that may not be what the FCC is requiring them to use, obviously the FCC will take part in this and do what they need to do. Okay, an example here of regulation, the FCC votes to begin the rollback of net neutrality regulations. So what this means, the Federal Communications Commission has officially begun to undo the Obama-era regulations on internet service providers, often called the net neutrality rules. The rules passed in 2015 had placed cable and telecom companies under the strictest ever oversight of the agency. In the 2-to-1 vote along party lines, the FCC's Republicans voted to propose a new review of the rules with the goal of loosening the regulations of the industry. As dozens of protesters outside urged the agency to stop the proceeding and keep the strict oversight, FCC Chairman Ajit Pai argued that the current rules represented a bureaucratic straitjacket on the industry. So this kind of hit the media pretty hard. Obviously, it was a big case, but yeah, that's basically it for the FCC. So